anymore that much. Everybody's going online. Please keep the bookstores alive, because I still love books too. To feel the book. Good for you, because that's the future right here, and they're all online. My kids are even online. I go, don't read the book. And they are. And but they had embezzlement going on within the company. So Tribune Company canceled our series after 5 years. Robbed us of 2 more years. Robbed you guys of 2 more years. Because I'm a big Star Trek fan. And it's original. That's the first show Gene Roddenberry wrote after Star Trek. He wrote it in 1969. And you guys might remember an actor, some of you older guys might remember an actor named John Saxon. Oh, yeah. John was the white bad guy in Fist of Fury and stuff with Bruce Lee. And he did the Captain Dylan Hunt role in 1970, but they didn't pick up the show because at the time NBC thought that Star Trek was a failure. They canceled it after 3 years. Probably one of the biggest mistakes in the history of television. So yeah, that's kind of weird. But anyway, the movie that just came out is called Abel's Field. It's a modern day Cain and Abel meets Friday Night Lights. Very good family movie. We shot it in Austin, Texas. Oh, she's got some right there.
I was just going to say, we have some back in
You have them here. That's awesome. There you go. The heck with Amazon. Screw Amazon. But yes, that just came out. Those are pretty fresh. That came only about a week and a half ago. I'll be on the Marie Osmond show in next 2 weeks promoting the movie, and another movie coming out on Hallmark, because her show's on Hallmark. Because I have a movie coming out March 23rd on Hallmark Channel. Mark your schedule. It's called Shadow on the Mesa, and it's another Western. And it's with Gail O'Grady. If you don't know the name, I like the Western. Gail O'Grady, you'll recognize her if you see her right away. And Greg Evigan, remember BJ? So we're all on it together, and it's a very nice, very, very cool Western. And I have another movie coming out in the summer. No, in the spring. They moved it to September, but it's going to be in theaters. It's called God's Not Dead, where I play an atheist college professor of philosophy. It's challenged by one of my students to prove the existence of God. Good. And it's a very interesting movie. It's like the movie Crash, if you guys remember the movie Crash.
Sure.
It's got 4 different stories going on that all sort of come together at the very end of the movie. So it's got like a Seinfeld plot to it, I guess. And I start 2 other movies, one called Persecuted coming up. I'll start shooting that in North Carolina soon. Another one called Trial by Fire, which is sort of a Karate Kid family coming together movie. I've got 2 new series I'm pitching right now. I've got a couple other movies coming out. Don't know when they're coming out. I got about 7 in the bag. I just don't know when they're all coming out. Good. One is not family friendly. I did my first movie that I've ever told my mom. I said I did a movie you cannot watch. It's called Julia X. It's in 3D. It's in theaters in Europe right now. But I don't know what they're going to do here in the States. There's unfortunately another legal battle going on between the producer and the director over creative control, which is very frustrating. But it shows me in a different light for Hollywood. That's why I wanted it out here. I played a serial killer. So I make Dexter look like a pussy. It's more a psychological thriller than anything else. But it was certainly a different role for me to play. And I've got a very strange sort of soap opera drama thing coming out called South Beach, which I shot in Florida. It's a weird story. But there's a number of things. A little political thriller I did too called Alongside Night. They may have the book here. The book came out back in the late 70s. But it's pretty much what's going on in the government right now. It's pretty interesting. This guy wrote that many years ago, and it deals with governments taking over everything, and stopping religious speech, bailouts for companies, owning everything as well. So it's kind of interesting that it came out. He's finally got this thing made, and he wrote that book that long ago. Just saying, wow, it's happening here right now. Yeah. Life is changing for us. But yeah, so that was a long-winded answer.
And your health is doing well?
Oh, pardon?
Your health is doing well?
Health is doing great. We'll talk about that in a second. Yes, sir.
Oh, I was wondering if you'd be doing any more voice acting in the future. You did some voice acting.
I just did another Skylanders thing. So the kids who know the Skylanders, my kids love it. So the one that just came out recently, I'm the Crusher. Voice of the Crusher. I just did another voice for them, and I just did another voice. I did a God of War 3, and I just did a prequel to God of War 3. That'll be out, I think, next month. It's
God of War Central.
And I'll be a plush toy.
Wow, that's good.
And I'll be doing some ads for Honda pretty soon. So I'll be on. You'll be my voice for the car commercials, radio spots, and stuff like that. So we start that in a few weeks as well. So
The
Yeah,
full,
you
full
know.
spectrum from Hercules to a plush toy.
You know, they had action figures for Hercules too.
Yeah.
I remember I went back. I was back home in Minnesota for Christmas time, Minneapolis. My mom and I went shopping at Target, and it was the toys for for Hercules had just come out, and it's like 1995 or something, like season 3 of the show. And I walked in, and there's a wall of all this stuff, my photo on it, and my mom and I just kind of stared at it. I said, "Isn't that weird?" This is a very surreal moment. You know? It was cool on one hand, but it's just kind of strange. I grew up in a little small town. You know, but I had the dream since I was 11 years old. I went to the Guthrie Theater, and I fell in love with acting when I was 11. I grew up a jock, you know. We always made fun of the guys in the drama department, so I had to, like I said, I'd kind of stay in the closet, so to speak. We make fun of the guys in drama, you know. Yeah, a bunch of pussies. As I said many times before, all the best-looking women in the drama class, anyway. I wasn't really telling her. She said, "There's one of the action toys right there." I got a long story to tell about that. I'll tell it very quickly. I was a double major marketing and advertising here at Moorhead. And Sidney Sheinberg was then president of Universal Studios. After the first year of Hercules, and they picked it up for 2 more years at that point, not realizing it was going to go 7 years and become the most watched show in the world. Thank you all very much. Quick segue there. I'm on a flight it's all industry people. We're going to New Orleans. They have a thing called NATFE, which is the National Association of Television Producers and Executives. And it's a big show they do every year to sell. They rotate between Vegas and New Orleans. So this year is in New Orleans. We flew us out on an MGM plane, so just all producers, actors, directors on this plane. We just got the word in '96 and we passed Baywatch as the most watched TV show in the world. I'm sitting on the plane. It's amazing. It was just spoil the hell out. They're all first class seats, so all the way back, and there's like 60 seats in the whole plane, the 747. And like this big hand goes on top of my shoulder. I look up, and that's David Hasselhoff. Oh. I've never met David before at that time. So I stood up, and I'm tall, but he's like 6'6". I'm almost 6'4". He's a tall guy, big guy. And so I get up and shake his hand, and he goes, "I just want to meet the guy that passed my show in the ratings." And I said, "David, we show a lot of cleavage too. We call it Baywatch BC." So, same type of thing. But very nice guy. I've been friends with David ever since. We've done a lot of autograph shows together through the years, and very funny guy, very, very nice guy. But where was I? I keep segueing out of where I was going. What were we talking about?
Toys.
The toys. So, Sidney Sheinberg, the president of Universal Studios, says, "Look, you're the marketing and advertising guy. Do you want to come in and sit through the pitch meetings we have Kenner, Mattel, and Toy Biz coming in to talk to us about why we should hire them to make the toys?" So I sat in this meeting with all these suits from Universal Studios, and I had heard the pitch from all 3 people. They all were gone. They all, obviously one at a time they came in. It was like a 3-hour period, an hour each. And they said, "Who would you go with?" And I said, "I would go with either Kenner or Mattel." And they said, "Why?" And I said, "Their products are superior. They're better than Toy Biz. They make better products." And I said, "Toy Biz is offering you more money up front, and a way to save money up front, but I think it's a bad way to go." Well, they didn't listen to me. They went Toy Biz. And here's what I thought the problem was, because even my little nieces and nephews at the time could see it too. Number one, when the dolls came out, they were Michael Hurst, played Eolist. Michael's 5'4", okay? The dolls came out, we were the exact same size. That was my first problem. And even my 6-year-old nieces are going, "You know, that's not, no, Kevin, that's not, you know, Eolist is much shorter than you." They're not dumb, kids aren't dumb. The second problem I had is what they offered to them to save money is Dolph Lundgren's steroid body during his days, Master of the Universe. They had millions of bodies left over. So all we did was rip his head off. Show how big. Show that. Go lift up the doll, show the body on that thing. I didn't look like that. I was 235. I was in great shape. That's like a 275-pound, little bit of steroids body. Dolph Lundgren. And that's what they did. And it sort of annoys me that they went and wrote it. But now what's weird is after all these years, those have become unbelievable collector's items. And people come up to me when I do autograph shows. I just did one in Dallas. I bet you 50 people out of the 500 autographs I signed one day, 50 people had those dolls. And they all, you know, no, just sign on that. Don't take the doll out. Putting dust on it. So that's what happened back there. Anybody else? Yeah.
I redid the Hercules TV series back in the day. Do you like your hair long or short?
Do I like my hair long or short?
Yeah.
I miss the rock and roll era sometimes. I do. My hair was kind of long when I got the part, so the first season was 5 2-hour movies.